let's get into our game plan right here, our game preview here, Buffalo, Kansas City. I know we kind of got off the track there, but I mean, obviously, things are just wild here on Fun Football Friday here on twitch.tv/Pro Football Network. Our game preview here. And I think one of the things, too, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS on Sunday. Just a reminder, immediately following Buffalo, Kansas City, you can join us right here, twitch.tv/Pro Football Network. We're going to be doing a live NFL Divisional post-game show here on Twitch. Help us build it up. Can't wait to join. If you like your team that wins, or if they lose, come celebrate or come mourn and vent your frustrations here with us. Come join us after the games on Sunday. Continuing on, though, I wanted to ask this question earlier. Fake Ben Rogers was in the chat. He said he's been having some connection issues. Obviously, hopefully he can get that solved here. But who has the better fan base, Bills Mafia or Chiefs Kingdom? Now, obviously, you got
you just want to see the world burn. That's
you got barbecues,
listen,
you got Bilbos, you got sweet potatoes. I mean, you got everything here. I mean, this is they travel well.
We are talking about number 1 and number 2 here. And honestly, I don't know who to pick, because when you look at just like in-game fan bases, what the Chiefs have been able to cultivate over the last 50 years of really not having a massive amount of success. Having Arrowhead and whatever they call it now, it's not Arrowhead anymore, but that fan base during a game, I think, is the best. I don't think there's any fan base better in game. But when you look at the totality of fandom, I don't think you can argue that the Buffalo Bills have the best overall fan base in the NFL. And when we get out of it, when we talk about things like donating to Andy Dalton's foundation because
not just $100 either, like we're talking thousands
or whatever. They do a bunch of funky stuff. They obviously are diving off of U-Haul trailers on to tables, folding tables. Like, they're insane. They're throwing Bilbos on the field. They're incredible. But I think when you talk about the in-game atmosphere, I don't think anything gets better than Kansas City. So it all depends on what you value more. Do you value the overall fandom day in and day out, or are we talking about game day fandom?
I mean, inside of the stadium, though, like, it's still hard to compete against the Bills Mafia. Like, like as good as Arrowhead gets and the Chiefs Kingdom, as loud as they are, like, Bills Mafia is the same. Like, you can go to a game and all of a sudden you're seeing Ryan Fitzpatrick standing next to you shirtless cheering at a game. Like, that says everything to me about Buffalo Bills. Like, I'm sitting here having to choose, okay, do I like brisket or do I like hot wings better? Like, this is such a hard choice, right? And there's no wrong answer. No.
They did say Mac Jones does eat boneless wings. The Bills Mafia made that sign. That was a good sign. I like it.
Okay, can we all just make a pact here?
I love boneless wings.
They're not boneless wings. That's fine.
They're not wings.
Oh, yeah, there's no
They are adult chicken nuggets.
Yes.
See, that's a better term.
I love those. Don't get me wrong. Chicken there's times I'm sitting here, I'm typing. I can't get my fingers all covered in hot sauce and work on a keyboard. Rip my Mac at that point. So sometimes I need, I'm going to fork that thing. Fork and knife. We're good to go.
Bam.
It's not a buffalo wing.
You just say I want to fork that thing?
Yeah, you got to put a fork in it.
Yeah, you put a fork in. I'm not picking it up.
Dip it in ranch or whatever. See, we're changing.
You can do the same thing with Cheetos too. That's next to your desk and you're typing. Fun fact. Honestly, these are the two places I want to go see a game at. Like, it's these ones, and then I would also throw Lambeau Field. Like, to me, they're just some of the best environments there are in the NFL. And honestly, the Cleveland Browns, they're starting to work their way up there with the dog panel and stuff. That's a very fun environment as well. It doesn't get the respect. But if I got to choose one, I don't really want Bills Mafia coming after me. So I'm going Bills Mafia.
I mean, I would say both. Like, I mean, that's the hard thing. You want to really appease them. I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, I think Kansas City, look, you got the great food, you got the great atmosphere. You mentioned how loud it gets. I mean, they break decibel level records, I think, almost every other week at that stadium, which, look, I know it's GEHA Stadium at Arrowhead. I hate these new sponsor names for stadiums. I'm always going to call it Arrowhead, just like I'm going to always call it Denver Mile High.
It's always also.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we're coming. We're coming in. Ratio incoming. Hey, CB Nutry, we can't make everybody happy here.
This cannot get any worse than when you guys talked about Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert. It cannot get ratioed any more than that.
I mean, yeah, one's still in the playoffs right now. And I
love calling it Arrowhead.
I love
me too.
And hey, we are not going to slander Justin Herbert's name.
No, not at all.
Side shot here. Also, Cody, I would like you to pronounce the word BOTH again.
Both?
Okay. All right, that's a huge argument that, this doesn't matter. It's completely off topic.
Both.
We're going there.
Both. All right. So I grew up in Pennsylvania. I said both all the time. Both, like BOLTH, and that's
not bad
too, and that's what brought it up.
Both, man.
But everybody made fun of me when I was in the Army because everybody said it's both.
I say Warsh sometimes.
Wait, you say Warsh? I do not say Warsh.
I worship, man. I was on the. I spent half my life on the Oregon coast, so my grandmother always used the term Warsh rather than wash. I mean, it's the same thing in my opinion, but
Order.
We'll see.
It's literally not how it's spelled.
Honestly, I can get it though, because like if I'm ever like, if I have country music on or whatever, or if I'm back down south, like my southern accent pops out instantly. So like I can see the Warsh of its side, but for me, it's also like it's both. Like I'm the same way with you. Like I don't add the L into it. The one that gets me is, I don't know if you guys have around, but Kroger, like it's not Kroger's. It's not Kroger's. It's Kroger. Like that's one of the ones that always gets me. It's very regional to Indiana.
For a second, Kroger. I love Kroger. Kroger's delicious.
Oh, absolutely.
Man, we're out here. I wish I grew up in Boston. I would just love a Boston accent. That's always like one of my dreams. With my khakis
from Boston.
Yeah.
I listen to enough Dropkick Murphys. I feel like I'm from Boston sometimes.
I've watched enough Ben Affleck movies like The Town and everything else to be able to kind of have a Boston accent.
Underrated movie, The Town.
The Departed is also another great one, by the way. I mean, that was a debate I saw going on. People are like, "Oh, The Departed was like, how is that a bad movie?" Like, whoever thinks Departed's a bad movie, I can't deal with you. Like, I'm sorry, you're not on my mail card list anymore. I ain't gonna send you nothing.
You're not getting a Christmas card if you don't like The Departed for me. But should we talk about who's going to win this?
We should, right? We should. So gents, who has more pressure in this matchup? Is it going to be the Buffalo Bills? Is it going to be the Kansas City Chiefs? Because we kind of posed the question yesterday for the Bills. It's always been, can Josh Allen take the Bills over the hump here, right? Can they get, Kansas City has kind of always been in their way in a sense. They obviously, had a disappointing performance last season, Buffalo did. Can they get over the hump? Or is it like the Chiefs? Like, for example, for them making it back to the Super Bowl, obviously for them, they got that nasty taste in their mouth of losing to Tampa Bay. They want to get back to the Super Bowl and maybe preferably even beat Tampa Bay if Tampa Bay gets there to kind of overcome that. That is something I feel like that's got a lot of pressure in and of itself.
I think it has to be Kansas City. And I think it has to be Kansas City because they are the higher seed. They're playing at home. They have Patrick Mahomes, who, I know that Nutry was talking about it earlier. Like, don't forget about Patrick Mahomes. And he was talking about as a rusher. But I do think we've kind of forgotten about Patrick Mahomes this year because he didn't have that alien type season. He is still the best quarterback in the NFL. When things are going well for Patrick Mahomes, they're going well at a rate that nobody else can touch. So for me, it is the Kansas City Chiefs. They had the defensive turnaround that is just directly correlated with not playing Daniel Sorensen as a back half safety. If they do that this weekend, they've done it.
Josh Allen's going right at it.
In previous weeks, they've done it a couple times. I believe in week 14 and week 17, he had double-digit snaps as a safety in the deep half. You can't have that. If you're the Chiefs, you absolutely cannot put him back there this week. You need to keep him up because he's going to cover the deep half at about 30 yards, and it doesn't matter if it's 5 degrees out. Josh Allen can throw 55 yards. Yeah, so you cannot have Daniel Sorensen back there. You have to have Tyrann Mathieu back there. You have to have Juan Thornhill back there. And I think that the Kansas City Chiefs have a ton of pressure because this is a chance to be the first team since the New England Patriots to go to 3 straight Super Bowls. This is an outstanding football team that figured it out defensively and just really hasn't gotten back to the point offensively where we thought they would be. They need to go out, they need to have a good game, and they need to win this football game against the Buffalo Bills.
I'm with you. Tommy, you do a lot of weather articles for us at Pro Football Network. What's the forecast supposed to be like in this game? Do you know? Because I think that's also going to be another thing. Because everyone's going to talk about cold weather. Like Lambeau's going to be cold, obviously, between the Packers and Niners.
Lambeau's going to
be. The Bills don't care about the cold. Josh Allen's out there, with
Jimmy G is going to have issues.
It's going to be rough.
With the thumb.
This is Jimmy Garoppolo's first game under 32 degrees.
Ooh.
What's that?
This is Jimmy Garoppolo's first game ever under 32 degrees.
Really?
That's brutal.
He has never played in that. And then you have him going up against like Aaron Rodgers, who this is what he does.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Like this is where he's at his best. So yeah, this will be the first time he's ever been under these conditions. And also in terms of the Kansas City weather, beautiful. It'll be perfectly fine.
Can't wait. playoff weather. It's going to be cold, I know, because it's going to be the evening. It's going to get a little cold, but the weather's going to be nice. No snow. Then
actually,
again, I mean,
the low for that night's only around 30 degrees, so it's actually one of the warmer
games.
It's
warmer than Buffalo.
You're saying, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's 30 degrees.
Dude,
and
I'm in
like,
Indiana. It was negative 3 degrees last night. That's
degrees.
warm for me.
Yeah, no, it's brutal. I mean, we just got snow here in Colorado, so imagine some of that's coming over towards Missouri's way. I don't know. There might be some snow. We could see it. I mean, the weather could change, quick, just like that. That's one thing I've learned about living here.
But, sometimes you just got to trust the forecasters, like you got to trust NFL draft evaluators.